Okay, let's take a quick look at the power rule, which is a fast method of differentiation that you're going to learn in AB or first semester of College Calc. So this is the general form of the power rule, but it looks kind of confusing if you've never really done practice problems. So let's do practice problems, and then it'll make sense. So x squared, the derivative dx, right? This just means derivative of x squared. So 2 is our n here, right? So we'll whip this on downwards. 2x, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 2x. Okay, same thing here. We're going to whip this bad boy down here. 3x. 3 is our n here, right? So we brought it down here. And 3 minus 1 is what? 3x squared. Okay, I hope that makes sense. As you get more advanced in calc, you can kind of start to do this in your head. So it's a really nice quick method of differentiation when you have to learn like more complex stuff. So let's take a look at this. This is with a coefficient. So it might be a little confusing. Sorry about the handwriting. I'm writing on my Mac. Not even writing. I'm using the trackpad. So what's the derivative of 4x cubed, right? This is our n here. We'll whip it on downwards. So what we're going to do when we quote unquote whip it on downwards is we're just going to multiply 3 by 4, right? So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, and kind of to like elucidate what we really did there, think about x squared, right? So we know that the derivative is 2x, right? We did that. So think about it as having a coefficient of 1. Okay? There doesn't need to be an x there. I don't know why I keep on doing that. I filmed this video so many times. So think about this coefficient there, right? So if we quote unquote whip it on downwards, it's 2 times 1, it's 2. So that's why we have that coefficient there. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense. So whenever you have a coefficient, you just multiply the exponent or your n value by that number. Okay, let's do this one. Might be a little bit more tricky just because it's a negative. Negatives are always a little tricky. What's the derivative of negative 5x cubed, x to the third power? So remember, we're going to bring this n down, negative 15, because it's 3 times negative 5. I hope that made sense. I shouldn't have written it before saying it. Times x. And what's 3 minus 1? Oh, we know that's 2. That's just simple arithmetic. Simple algebra. Okay, let's go to a little bit of a tougher problem. What's the derivative of x to the negative 4? And I keep on forgetting to write this. I don't know why. What is the derivative of x to the negative 4? Okay, so you don't need to fret about this negative exponent, right? Because it looks just like this, and that's all we need it to do. So let's bring this negative 4 down, right? Remember this kind of has like the 1 coefficient, right? Whenever you don't see a coefficient, it's always implied that it's a 1. So what's negative 4? If we bring it down, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. What's negative 4 minus 1? Be careful when you do subtraction with negative numbers. It always trips me up at the very least. So it's negative 4 x to the negative 5th. And an important thing that I want to state here is that sometimes your teachers might not want negative exponents in the numerator. So you're just going to bring this guy downwards. And then you're going to replace it with a positive, right? Like x to the negative 2nd equals 1 over x squared, right? That's like a good review of stuff I'm literally about to show you. So don't forget that this little relationship that I'm circling with the lasso tool exists. I don't know why that's still there. My bad. So now let's take a look at this guy. Negative 5x to the negative 3rd. dx. You know what? Let's make this a little bit trickier. I'm going to eradicate this negative. I'm going to eradicate this negative 5, in the numerator, at least. And we're just going to throw, what is the derivative of this bad boy? Negative 5. That looks like an abomination of a 5, actually. Negative 5 over x cubed, right? What's the derivative of that? So this x cubed in the numerator or in the denominator, sorry, is a bit troublesome. So what we can do is, remember that little rule I was talking about like 5 seconds ago, right? You can just sweep it up top, but then you have to make it negative, right? That's like an algebra thing, or a geometry thing, or even a pre-calc thing. I don't even know when you learn it, but you just definitely do learn it. These two things are equivalent, right? That's not a calc topic, but we just know that. These two things are equivalent. So then we can safely say that this little chunk, is equivalent to this chunk. And I keep on forgetting to write this, and it's probably going to confuse some people. And I'm going to feel bad. X to the negative third, right? Okay, and then this is just simple product rule. No rearranging required. What's negative 3 times negative 5? That is a positive 15. What's negative 3 minus 1? That is a negative 4. Okay, that's our answer. But sometimes, and you might want to get in the habit of doing this, don't write this answer, right? Because you have a negative 4 in your numerator. So we'll just sweep it on downward to the denominator and make it positive. Okay, I hope I helped. This is a pretty quick look, but this is all you're going to see in Calc AB, and honestly Calc BC, so Calc 1 or Calc 2 for product rule. And how do I know that? Well, I've taken both classes. So, as a student passing on info to fellow students, you'll be good. All right, have a nice day.